Hi there everybody, welcome to okay. Take it back. Hi there everybody, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. So for this tutorial, I wanted it to feel, you know, summery, bright type of thing. This is what I came up with. So if you guys are interested to see how I paired this eye look with these lips, please continue watching. Alright guys, before we get into the applying the foundation and things like that, I wanted to just show you guys the face brushes that I've used. Not in detail, but sort of like an overview. So for the face brushes, it's from Amazon, this is from e.l.f. and this one is from BH Cosmetics, and my Real Technique sponge. I'll tell you guys what I use them for more in detail as we go into the tutorial. Alright guys, so I'm going to start out by moisturizing my face with just regular Vaseline lotion. As it dries, it has this tacky feel. So I like that because it helps with the foundation and other products stick better. So it's sort of like a primer to me. So after I go ahead with my DIY color corrector and I go ahead and apply it around the pigmented areas of my face, mostly around the mouth area. Just a quick tip here, if you guys don't want your foundation to mix with the color corrector, then you can just go ahead and apply a translucent powder on top of the color corrector before applying your foundation. I don't do this all the time though, because sometimes I forget to do that. Anyways, for my foundation today, I'm using MAC's Studio Sculpt in NC45. And to apply that, I'm going to go ahead and use my trusty drugstore sponge, the Real Technique sponge. And of course, soak it under water and make sure it's nice and damp to help with the application and to get that more of a hydrated look sort of thing. So just go ahead and apply this foundation all over the face. For my concealer, I'm going to be taking my usual concealer, which is the LA Girl Pro Conceal Concealer, and apply that underneath the eyes and a little bit around the corners of my mouth and things like that. And again, I use the same complexion brush to apply this. Okay, so to set the concealer, I'm going to go ahead and use a translucent powder by CoverGirl. This is in medium in number 115. The brush that I'm using is a tapered brush from e.l.f. I think it's called Blush Brush or something like that. To set the other areas of my face, I decided to mix up some powders. It's just a couple, not too much. So I'm mixing up the Morphe Warm Pro Definition palette with the translucent powder by CoverGirl. And see how it goes, just because if I use the translucent powder by CoverGirl alone, then later on when I take pictures it might be too light, you know what I mean? Moving on to the eyebrows. To fill my eyebrows, I use the Wet n Wild kohl liner called Pretty in Mink. It's a dark brown shade. And to carve up under the brows, I use a darker shade in my e.l.f. Complete Coverage Concealer. Next, using lighter shade from the same e.l.f. Complete Coverage Concealer, I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes and also set it with the translucent powder from CoverGirl, just to prep it for my eyeshadow. To warm up my face, I'm going to go back with the Morphe Warm Pro Definition palette and use this powder to bronze up my face. The brush that I'm using to do that is from Amazon. It came as a set of 11-piece brush sets and it was very affordable. Today's all about bronzing. Bronzing? What? Today's all about bronzing my face, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit more than the usual. Summer, right? So, yeah. Alright guys, before we get to the eyes, I just wanted to show you guys an overview of the brushes that I've used, just to make it easier for you guys to follow along. So basically all these brushes I got from Amazon, and this one is from BH Cosmetics. Alright guys, so from the Morphe 35 OM palette, the All Matte palette, I'm going to be taking this light brown eyeshadow color and use it as a transition shade with a large fluffy brush that I got from Amazon. This also comes as a set as well. And then I'm going to go with a smaller blending brush from BH Cosmetics and take this gorgeous shade from the same Morphe 35 OM palette and sort of deepen up that crease area and the outer corner mainly. And I'm just using a back and forth motion type of thing to apply that. I also bring down the color down to the bottom eyelid using the same brush. Next, I'm going to go with the Twin Sister palette, which is the 35O, the All Shimmer palette, and take this light champagne shimmer shade and apply that on the lid using my finger. I also went with a flat brush from Amazon with the same color to kind of give it that semi-cut crease look. This was totally unnecessary step, but anyways, I went ahead and applied a darker bronzy shade on top of the lighter one. I don't know why I did that on the other side, but I had to match it up with the side. It's totally up to you to do this step though. Next, I wanted to have the top of the crease to have a lighter appearance. So I'm taking these two light shades and applying it on the same area where I applied the transition eyeshadow shade with the fluffy brush. For the bottom lash line, I decided to go with this deep plum shade from the Kali Bible palette and apply that using a small smudge brush from Amazon. For my brow bone, I decided to go with the old favorite palette, which is from BH Cosmetics, and apply this shade as a highlighter for my brow bone. For my mascara, I'm using the usual, which is Rimmel London's Wonderlash Mascara. And for my lashes, I'm using Armika's Lash from Amazon with my Ardell Lash Glue and applying that right on, mostly off camera because it takes time. So now that the eyes are done, I'm going to move on to my blush. But for my blush, I'm using an eyeshadow by Juvia's Place. I'm using Zobo from the Masquerade palette by Juvia's Place. And to finish off the face, I go ahead and use my Fix Plus, spray that all over, and then go with my Kali Bible highlight. Again, the same thing as usual. And apply it after applying the Fix Plus, just to get that nice vivid look without applying so much. And moving on to the lips. For my lips, because I wanted that vivid, nice summery look, I'm going to use the ColourPop Cosmetics Ultra Matte Liquid Lipstick called Thursday. But before I use that, just for comfort, I went ahead and used Jordana's lip liner in Kohl. I believe it's in number 44. And that's how this whole look turned out. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on another video.